Okay. So just a very brief presentation from my side. So my name is Jeanette Bolter. I am the project coordinator of the Insurance project, and also I'm a senior innovation consultant at P&O Consultants. So the way that we will be running the agenda of today, we will start out with a presentation from Yang Ying Li, who is the head of programs and knowledge management at the European technology platform ALICE. And this will be followed by a presentation from Giannis Kaniopoulos from ICCS in regard to the benefits and potential challenges that the use of autonomous vehicles constitutes in urban logistics. So we will have two different presentations, one from Yang Ying that will be focusing more in the electric and light vehicles. And then on the other hand, we will have a presentation from Giannis in related to the autonomous vehicles. This will be followed by a presentation from our colleague Antonio Invito, who's an innovation and business analyst at P&O Consultants, and he will do a specific presentation of the market analysis for innovative zero-emission urban road delivery vehicles that we have executed in the scope of the Insurance project. And hereafter, we will have some short presentations from different examples of implementation use cases of these zero-emission vehicles and autonomous vehicles for urban delivery. So we will have several different presentations in this sense, and hereafter we will have a final presentation of the EIT Urban Mobility Innovation Call done by Wiebke Müller, who's the Innovation Lifecycle Officer at EIT Urban Mobility. And then finally, we will have a Q&A, although I will let you all know that you do have the possibility of either raising your hand during this call or putting your questions directly into the chat, and we will make sure to bring up the questions also throughout the presentations of today. So without further ado, I will be leaving the word to Yang Ying Li from ALICE, who will do the presentation in urban logistics, the future in electric and light.
Okay, I will start it. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly well.
Okay, and I started sharing my screen already, and I will go to the presentation mode, so I won't be able to see you. So keep the questions in the chat, and I will read it at the end of my presentation. Okay, so thank you very much, Jeanette. Thank you for the introductions, and a very good morning to everybody. I know it's still very early for most of us. So let's start it. My presentation title, Jeanette gave to me as urban logistics, the future is electric and light. But I put a question mark at the end. It's because I don't want to say this is definite. I think we should start the conversation. And today the market analysis will demonstrate we are on the right path to be climate neutral, and we make our contributions to decarbonize this sector. So I show a picture here, and I'm sure you're very familiar. You probably see this every day. Not necessarily that the three letters logistic companies went, but from other logistic companies, we see this deliveries everywhere. So the double packing have a lot issues. It's limited the space. For example, in this case, the cycling have nowhere to go, but often it's pedestrian as well. So vulnerable road users will suffer. And also, of course, the safety issues. And then it's also associated air pollutions and noise. So we will have to have new solutions. The conventional solutions are big vans pick up all the goods from suburbans or outside the city warehouse and come to the city to the deliver one by one. This kind of a business model may not work. So the challenges we're facing, well, the picture I saw before is familiar, but we are facing new challenges, and the challenges is continuing to increase the e-commerce, and is also associated with change in lifestyle. So we have more home deliveries, some people don't own a car anymore. We use bicycles, and the micro-mobilities are more even you have a car at home. The constructions in cities continuing because to support the continuing urbanizations, that's particularly in some cities with economic growth. And then, of course, climate actions, awareness is very high, and also how we can protect the environment, because now we understand that the environment we live have big impact on our health situation. So let's start it. What are the changes in lifestyles? We used to go to supermarket. Now we stay at home, even the groceries, even the vegetables delivered to home. We used to own a car when you started a family. You have family car, that's the official term. And now you have family bicycle. So that's a change of the lifestyle, have a big impact on logistics as well. So for example, if we don't do the weekly grocery shoppings to supermarket outside cities, we will require the home deliveries, or we require the more convenient, smaller supermarkets in the cities. And those supermarkets goods need to be delivered. And that's probably not being delivered by cargo bike. And if we don't own a family cars, or we don't use family cars as much as we used to do, we have a cargo bikes and to use to transport our children. But it does means we probably need more solutions to have a home deliveries. We buy more stuff via e-commerce or via convenience stores. So this change of lifestyle have impact on urban logistics to B2B and B2C. So we need new solutions, as we said. It's very clear all cities, all logistic companies, all shippers now move to go electric and the light delivery vehicles. To do so, it's not like magically you just transferred everything to cargo bike. We need urban consolidation centers or micro hub that can be used for not just to pack the vehicles to load, unload goods, but it also can be used for charging facilities that often integrated the charging facilities on site of logistic company. But then there's questions coming is where the energy supplies should come from. Is the energies come from our current grid? There are some demonstrations already saw. If all urban logistic delivery vehicles become electric, the current grid will not able to provide such energies, particularly if they charge at similar times. If at night they all come back to their depots, they started to charging, that will bring our light bulb become darker. So the energy supplies on site to charge those vehicles should also aim to transition to renewable energies. That is something we need to discover what are the best business models and best benefits to the environment and to the energy transitions. As I said, we continue to have urban urbanizations. So we build more house, apartment buildings, business as well. So this need construction logistics. And we also need to have more B2Bs. As I said, if the supermarkets move to city centers, if a smaller business still stay in the city centers, the B2B urban deliveries should not be overlooked. So I want to stress here, when we're talking about urban logistics, many people only think about your Amazon boxes delivered to your home. That's not true. The urban logistics cover delivery all goods to support the city functioning. That's including B2B delivery, but also including waste collections and construction site materials and so on. I just want to make that reminders when we talk about urban logistics, not just your Amazon boxes. Okay, so construction transport is actually a big issue because most of them is done by road, and is in Sweden, for example, 20% is actually related to construction site, and then 50% urban goods are related to construction because they are big, they are heavy, and they're constant. And also the emission, of course, is very high. But this sector has been overlooked. And if we can have more data to support the planning and decision making, and we also have not enough awareness for the city's authority decision makings, but also for logistic operators and for our stakeholders. And we could try to move to different modes. And there are already some trials to use urban railways or inland waterways for construction materials and waste transport. And we should further exploit the possibilities, how we can maximize benefit. And we said it's go electric. But in this case, the electric could become a little bit heavier. So there's a new concept, vehicles from Volvo, and is actually more heavier than usual. But this for construction materials and waste transport, it sometimes makes sense. So that's why at the beginning, my titles, I put question mark. Electric, for sure. Heavy, it depends. And if in this way, so overall, the traffic volume actually become light. So we're still right. And then, of course, the climate actions now is a big topic, probably the biggest challenge we meet in our generations and generations coming. And transport in the old days really from the business to consumer. But now we probably need to think about many things we use it, like your batteries at home, your old clothes need to be recycled. And many shops are open recycling. So you can bring your old phones back to your telecom operators, and you can deliver your old clothes back to Zara, back to H&M, and they will recycle. So this is also required collections and required transport. If you have a large volume of old clothes, like myself, I did a lot of shopping, not for me, but for my daughter. So I need to carry a couple of big bags back to the shops, and the shops will recycle, consolidate them and recycle. And that will be reused, redesigned, recycled. So the transport will not be just one way, but it will become a circle. And that is also give new challenges and new opportunities to our urban logistic practitioners. So when we receive Amazon boxes, can we also give our waste to the same person? If while we received our clothes from old clothes from we receive our new clothes from Zalando, can we also give the old clothes back to the same persons who don't go back as empty trucks, but with our recycled goods? That would be fantastic. But it's not there yet. It's just a theoretic a dream in my mind. So I open this questions, and I hope we could work together to find a good solutions. Okay, let's talk about the future. I 100% convinced that electric and light vehicles for last mile delivery will continue. This is a trend, and we will see more and more. We probably already see many of our boxes, our e-commerce deliveries has been done by cargo bikes or electric vehicles, and that is fantastic. So we will see how we can flexibly use our urban space. So this pictures is from one of the historic buildings, and we use it temporarily as a warehouse for business periods like before Christmas, e-commerce peaks. And we will need to continue to think about how we can facilitate the circular economy through zero emission urban logistics. And one big topics I have not mentioned because I don't have much to talk about how we can empower consumers, we can empower citizens. Now we buy online, we do shopping, you can choose the fastest delivery is easy. But if you want to choose the most sustainable delivery ways, that is a big question because we don't have the assessment measures is goods delivered to you by cargo bag does not mean most sustainable ways, because that person who delivered to you by bikes could be underpaid, not being well protected in the risk of road safeties and so on. So how we can empower consumers that need some assessment methods to evaluate the sustainability levels, and then to give the right information sufficiently for consumers to make the right decisions. Okay, I pause here. I think this is my last slides. And thank you very much. And any questions, I'm happy to open these discussions, but also please have a look in Alice. We have a dedicated working groups on urban logistics, and we are running webinar series as well in collaborations with other city networks. And thank you. I pause here. Back to you, Jeanette.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Yang Ying. And I would directly pass on the word to Yanis Kaniopoulos from ICCS, who will be giving a chat about benefits and potential challenges that the use of autonomous vehicles constitutes in urban logistics.
Thank you very much, Annette. I hope that you can see my slides, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you very much. So, just a short introduction about me and the company that I represent. I see many familiar faces in the audience, but for those that do not know me, my name is Yanis Kanelopoulos, and I'm the unit leader of Logistics and Maritime in the Institute of Communications and Computer Systems. Now, the Institute of Communications Computer Systems is actually the research arm of the National Technical University of Athens, and you can see in this slide a list of the topics that we are researching. We are quite heavily engaged into the transport and logistics sector. We are currently coordinating 22 projects related to intelligent transport systems, to logistics and maritime, and to safety related to them. And we are participating in 50 more that allows us to gain some knowledge into the various aspects of the supply chain, including urban logistics. That is the scope of this presentation. In order to be able to discuss the benefits and the various challenges that relate to the use of autonomous vehicles in urban logistics, I would like first to make a short introduction about what I could sum up as categories of automated vehicles that may have a use case in the urban logistics sector. First of all is the autonomous delivery robots. These are small wheeled robots that are designed to navigate sidewalks and deliver packages or goods over short distances, and they typically operate at lower speeds and are suited for last mile delivery in urban areas where there is heavy presence of people and walkers by at the areas that they operate. I think, yeah. Can you still see my presentation?
We can still see your presentation.
Okay.
Yes, it's on a slide that types of autonomous vehicles.
I can see it, but I thought that you lost it because there was a message from Teams anyway. Teams tends to do that.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So the second category is autonomous drones, which are drones that are equipped with autonomous capabilities, such as predefined flight schedules that can be adjusted dynamically while on flight, based on situational awareness, or remotely based on changing business needs that are increasingly being used for urban logistics. They can fly over traffic and deliver packages or medical supplies. Currently, these are the use cases that they are mostly used for, to specific locations, bypassing congested roads in urban settings. The autonomous shuttles are small vehicles that are designed to transport passengers or goods within a limited area and confined area usually, such as airports, ports, campuses, or industrial complexes. They usually follow predetermined routes and operate autonomously over a specific time schedule, and they provide efficient and reliable transportation in those well-defined settings, which makes it easier for them to control. Next, we have autonomous trucks that are larger vehicles. They are mainly developed for long-haul transportation over corridors of the supply chain, but can also find uses in urban logistics for bulk deliveries in urban warehouses or wholesale clients that are located within the urban environment. These vehicles can navigate usually in highways and large city streets that have minimal human intervention and are not designed for smaller deliveries into houses, for example, or apartments. Next, we have the autonomous vans and similar delivery vehicles that are usually developed as autonomous versions of traditional delivery vans and vehicles that can be used in urban logistics. They are smaller than trucks. They can handle a range of tasks from transporting goods or even a couple of passengers and making small deliveries in dense urban environments that can even include apartments and smaller shops. Finally, we have the autonomous forklifts and similar warehouse vehicles that usually operate within warehouses and distribution centers, and they are mainly used in order to handle inventory and logistics operations, such as scan-in, scan-out, and picking operations in warehouses. At this point, it is important to note that the level of autonomy can vary among these vehicle types, and it does not vary per vehicle category, but even in the same category, you can have various levels of autonomy into similar vehicles. Some of the vehicles have partial autonomy that require human intervention in certain scenarios, while others may operate with higher level of automation and independence and even work completely unsupervised. The specific types of autonomous vehicles that are used in urban logistics depend on requirements, regulations, and technological advancements in any given location and industry. Now that we have seen these types of autonomous vehicles, let's see what are the benefits that can be gained by the use of automated vehicles and transportation means in an urban logistics setting. First of all, operational efficiency. Autonomous vehicles can optimize delivery routes and schedules that lead to increased efficiency in urban logistics. They can analyze real traffic data, and they can adjust their routes in order to avoid congestion. They can reduce delivery times, and along with it comes the reduction of fuel consumption as well for those that are based on consumption of fuel. Cost savings is another benefit that comes by eliminating the need for human drivers, first of all, the salaries that come with human drivers. And generally, they can reduce labor costs that are associated with urban logistics deliveries because if they are running fully unsupervised, then it's not only the human drivers that we have savings for, but also the monitoring personnel that may be required for less autonomous vehicles. Additionally, optimized routes and fuel-efficient driving that can be integrated into their modes of operation can lead to savings in fuel expenses or even electricity and battery usage for the electric ones. If we combine this with predictive maintenance algorithms that are usually implemented with such vehicles that have sophisticated equipment for monitoring their operation and sensors that can provide the data that are needed in order to come up with forecasting of maintenance schedules, can prolong their life cycle and minimize the spare part usage, making them even more cost effective. Improved safety is also one more benefit, since autonomous vehicles have the potential to enhance safety in urban logistics. They are equipped with advanced sensors and artificial intelligence systems that can detect and respond to hazards on the road. They have situational awareness that can detect the presence of human beings around them. And the fact that there is no human involved with their operation makes them safe enough, and if not completely safe, at least to reduce by a huge percentage the risk of accidents by their use. Increased productivity is another benefit that comes with autonomous vehicles, because if they're handling driving tasks, logistics company can free up human resources in order to focus on other critical aspects of their operations, such as inventory management, customer service, and overall process optimization. Moreover, the fact that autonomous vehicles can operate almost unattended on a 24/7 basis increase their productivity level. There is no need for changing shifts. There is no need for breaks. So we elongate actually the operational process of these vehicles and generally the processes that are being used for. Finally, we can reap environmental benefits out of the use of autonomous vehicles, since they can contribute to reduce emissions and promote sustainability in urban logistics. As already mentioned, by optimizing routes and driving behavior, they can minimize fuel consumption and lower the carbon footprint. And if they come up with the adoption of not only autonomous, but also electric or fuel cell-based and green means and green vehicles in general, then they become environment friendly and they can reduce air pollution and noise levels in urban areas as well. But these benefits do not come without challenges that are significant at this point, and this is the reason that we only see some limited use currently and not extensive use, and not yet having the mindset to move towards automation completely in the years to come. One of the most important challenges that the operation of autonomous vehicles includes is the regulatory framework. The introduction of autonomous vehicles in urban logistics requires the development of appropriate regulations and legal frameworks. Governments and authorities need to address issues that are related to liability, first of all, if an accident happens or if cargo is damaged, to be able to identify who is going to be liable for reimbursing those that have sustained the damage. Insurance companies, well, everybody says that the world is run by banks and insurances. So if you do not have insurances companies willing to insure the operation of automated vehicles, then the operation of them, no matter how technologically advanced, is not possible. Licensing issues that are related to the operation of automated vehicles and integration of them into the existing traffic systems and the advances that are required in them in order to allow them to operate. One more challenge that we have to face is a more technological one, and it is related to the infrastructure requirements for the operation of autonomous vehicles. Autonomous vehicles rely on advanced infrastructures such as robust communication networks with low latencies and practically zero downtimes, and sensor technologies that can allow them to gain the situational awareness that they need for their operation. So the implementation of these technologies across urban areas may require significant investments, not only by the public authorities like the municipalities or the ministries that are relative to transport and freight and logistics, but also by companies that need to be able to integrate their systems with this infrastructure that is going to be developed. This also brings us to another challenge that comes with the actual technological limitations. So while autonomous vehicle technology continues to advance and has reached a quite mature state currently, there are still technological challenges that we need to overcome. Autonomous vehicles need to accurately perceive and interpret their surroundings, including complex urban environments with pedestrians, cyclists, presence of animals and other vehicles, traditional vehicles, which means that we need to develop robust and reliable systems that can handle a variety of scenarios that can be quite complex and need the implementation of quite advanced technologies such as video analytics, such as situational awareness interpretation, forecasting of movements, and so on. So even though we are almost there, we are not there yet. Public acceptance is one more quite important challenge that we need to address, and generally social innovation and social aspects. The widespread adoption of autonomous vehicles in urban logistics relies on public acceptance. So some people may have concerns about the safety of using autonomous vehicles, privacy, and potential job displacement by their use. Autonomy means that we practically eliminate at least one job type, which is the driver. During our experiences in various projects, I can give you quite some prominent examples that we have faced related to public acceptance. One of them is obviously driver unions protesting against the testing and use of autonomous vehicles, even in confined places such as ports and airports. Labor unions that are striking against the implementation of 5G networks with the excuse that they may be harmful for their health, and even having conspiracy theorists that 5G networks were the ones that initiated the spread of the COVID pandemic. But anyway, these are also things that are present in society and we cannot avoid them. We need to deal with them. And even cases where we had pedestrians that were interfering with delivery robots, either by just playing around with them, standing in front of them to see whether they would be able to avoid them, or even pressing some buttons that were on these robots in order to see what would be the effect. And some cases with more aggressive behaviors that led even to attacking them, claiming that robots and AI is going to be a threat for the human nature itself. So in order to be able to cope with such reactions, what we need to do is, first of all, try to build trust by addressing these concerns through education and demonstration of the benefits that the use of these autonomous vehicles can have and how crucial they are for the successful implementation and the actual benefits that the society can reap from their use. One more challenge that we need to face relates to security and cybersecurity. Autonomous vehicles are vulnerable to potential cybersecurity threats. They obviously use digital means in order to operate, which makes them susceptible to such kind of attacks. Ensuring the security of vehicle systems and protecting them for hacking or malicious attacks is vital to maintain the integrity and the safety of urban logistics operations. In any case of successful cybersecurity attacks, they can lead into various unwanted outcomes, for example, theft of the cargo, or even causing accidents intentionally, or even stealing the equipment and reconfiguring in order to use in another setting. Finally, we have the transitions and integration. Autonomous vehicles, types of autonomous vehicles as have been shown here, are developed in order to operate independently. This means that when trying to put them on a supply chain that requires the interaction between different modes of transport and different vehicles in order to be able to successfully deliver the cargo to the final recipient, means that we need to redesign a little bit operations, and this may require significant changes in the workflows, the training of the personnel, the infrastructure that we are going to use, the systems that are developed in order to support operations. And in order to be able to achieve this kind of integration, companies need to manage this transition effectively and consider the compatibility of autonomous vehicles that are going to operate in their premises or in their setting of operations with existing fleet management systems and processes that are in place. Integration operations among different autonomous means of transport currently poses quite some challenges and is subject to further scientific research in terms of protocols that are going to be used, techniques that are going to be used, and even mechanical things of how the cargo is going to be moved from one autonomous vehicle to another in order to be able to continue to the next leg of the delivery. Overall, while autonomous vehicles offer numerous benefits for urban logistics operations, as we have seen, there are many challenges that we need to address and to be able to fully leverage their potential and ensure safe and efficient integration into urban environments. So with this slide, I complete my presentation. I would like to express the apologies of Dr. Angelos Samtitis, which was originally invited in order to make the presentation. Unfortunately, he's attending ITS during these days, and I was happy to take over and present our findings related to the benefits and the challenges of urban logistics and be able to help and contribute to this webinar.
Thank
Yanni,
you very
back
much,
to you.
Yannis. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for this interesting presentation. So we're directly jumping on to the next presentation, which will be done by our colleague Antonio Invito, who's an innovation and business analyst at P&O Consultants, and he will be doing a presentation of the market analysis for innovative zero-emission urban road delivery vehicles.
Yes, thank you, Jeanette. Good morning to everyone. Let's share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, perfectly well.
Okay. Good morning to everyone. Thank you for connecting today. I will present the market analysis on the decarbonization of urban delivery road transport by identifying currently available zero-emission vehicles. And then I start with a brief description of our company, P&O, and then I will show you some data resulting from the analysis. P&O Consultant is an established market leader in grant innovation consultancy. We've been active for more than 35 years, growing up from being a startup in the Netherlands to a multinational group with offices in 9 countries in Western and Southern Europe. And we are more than 450 people, most of which with technical and financial background. We work with a pan-European network of partners, clients covering all Europe, and the group is composed of multiple labels and brands covering strategic, innovative branch of the of corporates. I'm part of the P&O R&D advisory team that is part of Ciaotech, the Italian brand of P&O. And we are a dedicated unit established in Italy and supporting the whole group. We are composed of innovation and business analysts, expert in innovation management, design thinking, business modeling, business plan, etc. And we cover the whole innovation cycle with a set of specific services such as the market research and innovation scouting, which helped us to carry out this analysis. This market research has been carried out within the work package 3 of the Entrance project, as you know, in collaboration and on behalf of the EIT Urban Mobility and the ALICE working group. The scope was to identify the innovative and zero-emission urban delivery road transportation vehicles. And the first step approach based on multiple databases has led to a comprehensive catalog, which is provided as an Excel file as output. The market intelligence started from a free desktop search, going through the last roadmap published by 20 and CCCAM to understand where they are focusing their attention and consequently on which type of road vehicles we need to focus our analysis. Based on this, we then have consulted the available databases and manufacturers' websites. And then we used also P&O's proprietary and licensed tools, such as WISB, for finding additional manufacturers based on their activities in R&D funded projects. Subsequently, an in-depth analysis of the selected vehicles has been carried out to detail their technical properties and check their market availability and readiness. Finally, also a contact search for each vehicle has been done, trying to find people involved in their development. Here, in a nutshell, we found more than 240 different vehicle models provided by 165 manufacturers. And more than 75% are on the market, while almost the 20% is close to a commercialization or next to mass production, where the next to commercialization category identifies the vehicles that will be on the market by the end of 2024. For each of them, we have collected some information, including the power supply, the weight, and payloads expressed in kilograms, the power and output engine, the battery size, the charging time, the range availability for each vehicles, and etc. All of these features and characteristics of the vehicles are provided in the Excel file containing the entire market analysis. Here we have showed some key facts, such as, for example, the main production country found is Germany, followed by the United States, France, and the Netherlands. Then, regarding the type of vehicles, fairly uniform distribution has been identified, with 33% are vans and 23% of identified vehicles are electric cargo bikes as the top two category identified. Here we shift the focus on the on availability in Europe. And out of the more than 240 identified vehicles, 188 different models are identified as available in Europe. The availability is considered as the vehicle manufactured or commercialized in Europe. And the identified vehicles are provided by 127 different manufacturers. Of these, 146 are already on the market, so already delivered to customers. 14 are next to commercialization, so delivered by the end of 2024, and 18 are next to mass production or to production, so they are on in pre-production phase, or the prototype and demonstration vehicles have been already built. While 10 of the identified vehicles have been presented or designed, but there are no updates on their status today. On the right, the chart maps all manufacturers based on the type of vehicles identified and the year of entry into the market. So, yeah, you can see the various logos of the identified manufacturers of the vehicle for each category identified. Then here we start to categorize the various identified vehicles for macro categories. The first that I present to you is an example of the data that you can find in the Excel file representing the autonomous vehicles identified available in Europe. And out of the 188 identified vehicles available in Europe, 22 are or self-piloted or supervised. Of these, 13 are sidewalk autonomous delivery robots, and 9 are the road autonomous delivery robots. And here we focus and detail the identified robots in terms of payload expressed in kilograms, and in terms of level of autonomy identified, which range from 2 to 5. And identified payloads instead are between 10 and 200 and 2,500 kilograms, with the road autonomous delivery robots that usually have a higher capacity as imaginable. So they are much larger, or the SAGRs identified robots. Then we put an example of the data that you can find related to 2 and 3 wheels identified vehicles related to the analysis. On the total, we have identified 71 2 or 3 wheel delivery vehicles. Of these, 51 are categorized as electric cargo bikes that are the 27% of the total identified vehicles available in Europe, and 20 are electric cargo scooters or rickshaws, for example. Here you can find with the light blue, so the the scooters or rickshaws, and what a dark blue, the electric cargo bikes identified. And here we have detailed them in terms of payload expressed in kilogram and range expressed in kilometers. The identified payloads are between 40 and 800 kilograms, with most of the identified vehicles ranges from the 100 and 350 kilograms. Regarding the autonomy, most of the identified vehicles range from 30 and 150 kilometers, with some of the vehicles also ranging around 200 kilometers of autonomy. Then the last example that I showed you related to the type of data that you can find for each type of vehicles, grouped the four-wheel identified vehicles, and of the total 95 are four-wheel delivery vehicles. Of these, 59 are vans that represent the 31% of the total identified vehicles available in Europe. 19 are quadricycles and 17 are minivans, so that are small vans up to 750 kilograms of payload. So as you can see, the quadricycle usually has a minor payload with respect to the other categories. And also here we detailed the vehicles in terms of payloads and range. The most of the identified vehicles ranges from 200 and 1,200 kilograms. Regarding the battery autonomy, instead, it ranges from 40 to 600 kilometers, with most of the identified vehicles ranging from 100 to 250 kilometers. Then I will show you several such as cases. I put an examples of identified vehicles for each category of the urban delivery vehicles identified. The first case that I show you regards sidewalk autonomy delivery robots, and here there is an example of the EIT robot manufactured by Autonomy AG, a Swiss-based company. On the left, you can see the various data featuring the vehicles, the robots that you can find in our Excel. And the peculiarity of this robot is that it can have also a solar-powered version with an unlimited range of autonomy, and the autopilot software system that enables the self-driving transport vehicles is developed together with large partner Astis and Group Sistra, and Swiss Post has already tested successfully the vehicles, and their market status is near to mass production. It is expected to be commercialized by the 2025, late 2024. A second example can be we shift the focus on the road autonomous delivery robot, and I put the example of the Clevon RADR vehicles, that the unique vehicles that I find that is already operative in Europe regarding these categories. And it is fully operative since 2022. It can have a payload of 150 kilograms with a cell level that ranging from 3 and 4. Clevon is also designing and developing a new multi-box, a cargo box with 6 compartments that will be substitute the compartments that already mount the vehicles. The vehicles is already largely used in Estonia, mainly by the DPD and DHL branch companies. Some application, the vehicles are also used in the Netherlands and in Belgium. Regarding the European applications. For the electric cargo bikes success case, I put an example of the Ono Motion e-cargo bike. The peculiarity of this electric cargo bike is that it has swappable batteries that can be mounted, loaded and unloaded also during deliveries. And the vehicles has a payload up to 200 kilograms, and OnoMotion offer the vehicles both on sale or as a vehicle as a service model. And among its customers, there are already DPT, Berlin Last Mile, GLS, and Hermes that are company that use the vehicle mainly in Germany, where the vehicle has the main application to date. Regarding the 2 and 3 wheels example, I put the Carver Cargo example, a 3-wheeled scooter that has a maximum weight of 500 kilograms and a payload of 170 kilograms. The battery of this vehicle charge for 80% in 3 hours, and it has a range of more or less 130 kilometers. Also, this vehicle is fully operative since 2022. Carver has proposed various versions on the vehicle, and the Carver Base and their Plus are classified as mopeds, so no specified license are needed, while the Carver Cargo S Plus version is classified as motorcycles. The prices for this type of vehicles starting from 2,000 euros. Next example is the Midipile D-Click version case, a quadricycle provided by Midipile Mobility. This vehicle can have a maximum payload of 300 kilograms with an engine that can output 6 kilowatts of power. The range of the vehicles is quite wider. It can range up to 300 kilometers. The entry into the market is expected by the end of 2024. But the vehicle is already pre-orderable with a down payment of 600 euros. The company offers a 10-year warranty on the vehicles on first 50 vehicles sold. Also, this vehicle starting price it's of 12,000 euros. We shift to the minivan category, where we put an example of a Turkish-based company, the Pilot car, with its P1000 cargo. The specific vehicle can have a payload ranging from 500 and 800 kilograms with an engine that can make an output up to 22 kilowatts of power. And there are 3 versions differentiated by the 3 different batteries that the vehicle can have. And also the range and charging time varies based on the different vehicles chosen. Also for this vehicle, the mass production and marketing started in March of 2022, but the company unlimited the production capacity 3,600 units per year to fulfill requirements of customers in terms of quality and lead times. And the last example that I provide you is the cargo mover provided by Kubonic. It is the formerly EgoMove GmbH, the German-based startup. This van can have a payload ranging from 1,000 to 1,200 kilograms with an engine that has an output of 150 kilowatt of power. Also here we have 3 different versions based on 3 different battery sizes. That differentiates also the charging time of the vehicle. The vehicle is in a pre-series production phase. Production series will start soon. It's expected by the end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024. The modular design of the vehicles enables a customized loading space design of the van. It has also been designed to run autonomously in a rear future. Yes, next, here's the link to register to the Arrival platform where the market analysis is contained. And maybe we now can give you also the link to download the Excel in the chat. I don't know, Janet, you have already the link or not?
I will make sure to put in the link immediately, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. And I will show you the Excel. Some example. Yes, this is the Excel that you can find in the Arrival platform. The second sheet contains the categorization of the vehicles and their explanation, and as the various concepts provided by the 2.0 CCAM roadmap and why have we selected this type of vehicles. And then in the list of vehicles sheet, you can find all the selected vehicles. You can filter them by the category you are interested in. You can find here various properties such as where the vehicle is and will be available. So is it manufactured or not in Europe? Information such as the maximum vehicle weight, payload, dimension, output, the power of the engine, the battery size. And on the right of the table, you can see various comments related to the various orders already provided, or the collaboration between manufacturers and urban delivery service providers. Other than the various contacts related that have contributed to develop the vehicles. So these are all type of information that you can find in the Excel. As I said before, here are provided more than 240 vehicles for the urban delivery. I don't know if you have any questions or not.
All questions or comments are very welcome. And in the meantime, I just wish to inform everybody that I have put the link in the chat here today. This market analysis will be available on the platform by this afternoon, together also with all PowerPoint presentations of the webinar today. So in case you have any questions, either the chat or raise your hand. And in the meantime, I would like to start passing on the word to the next speakers of today. So we're now going into the examples of specific implementation use cases of specific vehicles for urban delivery. And in this case, we will start out with Musoshi. So who will be the speaker today? Do we have the person here? Ali, would it be you? I'm afraid we cannot hear you. For some reason, your audio appears to not be working. So maybe while you look at that, I will just give the word to the next presentation. Maybe you can see what problem it may be. Okay, so the next in the meanwhile would be cargo cycling. Nichland
Yes.
Cycling.
Hi.
Yes, Durian. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Will you be sharing the slides, or shall I share it myself?
I think it's easier if you just share them directly. Yes.
Okay. Yep. One moment.
No worries. In the meantime, I kind of request also for the rest of the implementation use case presentations to just have your PowerPoint presentations ready so we can jump directly into it. And now we can in fact see the presentation of cargo cycling.
Great. Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I'd like to present cargo cycling. We are part of Nylon Cycling, which is a Dutch family-based company, 30 years old, and in the cycling business already for a long time. We have a focus on cargo cycles for the business-to-business market fully. So it is our pure focus to develop and produce cargo bikes for business-to-business purposes. We are a factory, so we do the design, the development, and the production all in-house. And that also gives us the opportunity to really apply and develop solutions for our customers, which are fully focused to their needs. I think, there it is. Okay. I think the business case for cargo cycles is already quite well known. So in terms of performance in inner cities, I think cargo cycles work well in terms of reducing congestion, improving delivery times, having a predictability in terms of delivery, and reducing the emissions of CO2 gases, reducing noise, having a lower physical footprint. It's easier to park the cargo bikes, and they're also lower in terms of investment. So I think from those perspectives, the business case is quite clear. We do have one challenge, I think, as a industry, and that is in terms of cost of ownership. We see that at the moment there's still a lot of repairs needed on our bikes, and I think it will be important for us to come to a lower TCO and a more predictable TCO. In terms of TCO, we define 3 different areas that determine the cost of ownership. First of all is, of course, the design and specifications of the bike. The second is the way the bikes are used the usage and the use case itself. And third, it's the service and maintenance that's being done, so the quality and the timeliness of maintenance. And data is very important to get insights on that. So we've been working on gathering a lot of data on the bikes that we have in the field in order to see how we could improve. We have one of our main products is the Chariot bike, which is used already by some companies in the field for the last three years. We've evaluated those usages and over the last years, and what we've seen is that they really like the driving experience, but what we do see is that there's a lot of damage due to, let's say, rough usage by riders. So these couriers, they have high pressures to perform. They really like to take the bike to the max, and that's takes its toll on the bike. So I think for us, we saw is that we need to improve the bike on several aspects. We also saw that we also need to improve the serviceability of the bike, so make it easier to service the bike. And we've also learned how to improve the intervals of regular maintenance. So actually, those were critical inputs for us to improve our bike into a next model. So what we've done is we've taken all those lessons and improved our Chariot bike by simplifying it in terms of the user interface. So it's easier to use the bike. Second of all, We've integrated IoT standard into the bike so that we keep on developing or creating data and learning from that. The bike has been strengthened at several points that we learned were critical. We've increased the driver comfort by not only improving ergonomics on the bike, but also making the bike with full suspension. So there's suspension in the rear and in the front wheel. And actually, we've already seen that with these improvements, we are coming to a better cost of ownership, which also will be competitive in terms of cost per kilometer, comparing to other types of vehicles. So I think this is not really all that interesting to dive into all that deeply, but these are some of the technical specifications. And for us and for this call, what we will really be looking for is to see if we can find partners to work with to create a use case and to really also create a data-based picture on the actual cost of ownership per use case for this bike, showing that it's that the eventual business case works out. So that's our call. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And I'm leaving the word now. Musashi, shall we just try and see, Ali, do you think that it's possible? So, oh, wait 1 second. I can see we have a comment here in the chat, so I don't want to jump over that before we continue. It says, do you sell and do your customers use cargo bikes with a swappable cargo body?
We don't have a swappable body yet, but we have a modular system. So any type of box can be mounted onto the rear. We co-develop boxes with our customers, but there are also some suppliers whose boxes can be mounted onto our cargo rear frames. So I hope that clarifies.
Thank you very much. So Ali, should we just try and see if your audio is working now? No, I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not. Maybe just as a recommendation, maybe you can try and disconnect and connect again, and then we'll see if it works better next time. I'll check up with you every time we pass on a presentation, okay? In the meantime, Revolts, I'm very sorry, I jumped over your name last time. Sorry for that.
Yeah, you can hear me? It's okay.
Yes, hello, Amir.
Hey, hi, nice to meet you all. My name is Zamir Zaid. I will share the 1 second, the window. Yep. Okay. Can you see now the presentation?
Yes, perfectly well.
Okay. My name is Zamir Zaid. I'm the CEO of Revolts. First, I would like to thank you for participating in this program. Really my pleasure. Revolt is an Israeli startup company founded by a group of highly experienced people from the field of bicycle and automotive. We see a very big gap between the micromobility world as we know it today and the automotive industry. There's a very big gap that we in Revolts are really aimed to a point in this gap by making new e-mobility platform that will offer a much greater usability. This is our target as a company. A few words about myself. I'm coming from an automotive background. I studied automotive design in Italy, worked for a few years in the industry in places like Fiat, Pininfarina, Ferrari. And the last 10 years, I've been focusing on micromobility. We in Israel have a very huge experience. We are, I think, one of the first places to adopt this kind of transportation. coming bottom up, not from the government. And I've been developing e-scooters, e-bikes, cargo bikes, from 2 wheels to 3 wheels. 3 wheel is really my passion because I think it has a lot of benefits. I will focus a little bit later on it. And my idea is that we must put more attention to transform this platform into a much more safer and comfortable vehicle if we really intend to have the masses and have different, like enlarge the use of them. Okay, this is probably, yeah, I'm in a place that this problem is very known and very familiar. But yeah, I think the last mile delivery really expanded dramatically in the last 3 years, with a huge demand in terms of the number of parcels and the expansion of food delivery. It already been told in other presentation. So and currently the way it's been done, it's basically the same it was before. So there are a lot of kinds of vehicles, but it's still something that it's in process. So at the moment it's inefficient, very expensive, and have a very negative environmental impact. This is where we come from. So we believe that a good product is born from a special need. So we basically started for a blank sheet. We haven't been relying on existing platform or like taking a e-bike and transforming it. We started with the need. So the need we see, it's basically making as much as possible in terms of to have as much as possible in terms of load capacity, in as minimum as possible in terms of footprint. So basically the Porto is a 3-wheel, is somewhere in between a bicycle and an e-scooter, but it's a very compact design. It's the size, the footprint of a small city bike. It's very compact, very agile. Our most effort was put on the front suspension. We're using a 3-wheel configuration with tilting suspension, something you can find in expensive scooters, motorized scooters like the MP3. We simplify the system, make it affordable, and the benefits of this system that basically the bike can operate 36.5 days a year, wet surface, rough surface. It has enhanced safety envelope for the user. This is something that is very important because the delivery guys are riding these bikes all day long, usually hitting some road issues, traffic. So we need to give them a better protection. Another issue is, of course, the range. Basically, we designed it to operate all day long. It can host up to 3 kilowatt hour. So it has range of up to 150 kilometer. And then it's a platform, the platform that can host a cargo plate, like for boxes in the front and in the back. And these boxes can be heated, refrigerated. So basically to fit to any request, any client request, we can handle it. And the idea is to have like a very agile platform, not a big and bulky one, something that will be easily driven and could make the deliveries very, very quickly, and not to be hit by traffic, to be able to park anywhere. And of course, in the end, we have a very environmental friendly vehicle. We really think we can replace the use of car or motorized scooters with this one. Another interesting thing is once it was developed, it's basically, you know, the basic was urban logistic, but the platform is very versatile. So We really think it can handle yeah, sorry. So you can see everything is okay?
Yes, we can see and we can hear you perfectly.
Okay. We'll back to that. So basically, it can fit other uses like using in large facilities, law enforcement, even tourism. It can go even off-road, and as a micromobility in general, as a micromobility platform for everyone who wants to use it to have better usability from the bike. A little bit about what other solution we have at the moment. So basically we can see delivery guys using electric scooters, normal e-bikes. This can give a very quick and accessible solution, but it's not really a cargo platform. You cannot really use it all day long. Then we have the big cargo bikes. They have, of course, a place for cargo, but usually they are very big. We are coming, the field we're operating is Tel Aviv. It's a very dense city. It's like a big chaos. Infrastructure is going into the right direction, but still it's very difficult to manage inside like this kind of traffic, to manage with a very big and bulky cargo bike. And usually you need to be like a very good biker in order to operate. Delivery guys, I think they are not bikers. I think that they're coming from a different background. And then of course we have the big quads. Of course, big load. We are not playing in the same load, but again, they are very bulky, very big, very expensive. We are talking about more than 10,000 euros for unit. And still you cannot avoid the traffic, and you still have problems in terms of parking. A little bit about us. Like I said, we are coming. We have many years of experience. Some are coming from excessive background of bicycle. One of our guys was bike champions. Other have experience in manufacturing. I coming from the design background, engineering. So basically, it's joining the forces and joining this world of bike and automotive. A little bit a short use case, and
You've
then
arrived at your destination.
I kindly request the
okay. Yeah, this was it. Just small correction. I saw in the last presentation the go-to-market is 2025. We are aiming in 2023. So we have first client, first paying customer, and we are intend to deploy in Israel in the next couple of months. So we're already in production, regulation, all this. So it's much sooner.
Thank you.
So this is
we
it.
will
Thank you
make
for
sure
the
to
heads up.
update that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much. Ali, should we try again? Are you here?
I think you can hear me now, right?
Yes, now we
Okay,
can hear you. Perfect.
Sorry for the issue.
No worries. This is what happens when you go on live. Oh, sorry, I can see that there was just one question now in the chat before we continue. The question is, could you
I can see
please tell me how? Yes, okay, perfect.
It's a very good question. First, the three-wheel configuration, the three-wheel tilting suspension is something that I've been working on for 10 years, really working on simplifying and making it as best as possible, but still affordable and quite like in terms of the production costs, we keep it down, and we are able to be very competitive in very competitive pricing. If you compare it to three-wheel cargo bikes, we basically aiming to be almost half the price because we really worked a lot on making this system as modular as possible and as simple as possible to make. So this is something that is very, very important. We aim not just to be a very good product, but also very competitive pricing, because if we are talking about fleets, I think pricing is a very important point. We are not looking at just buying one piece. We are talking about buying dozens, hundreds, thousands. So pricing is a very, very important thing, including the servicing. We have a very different choice of the components of the motor, and we are not relying on like in e-bikes, most are relying on mid-drive, very expensive, very difficult also to service. We have a very different selection of components, so it help us reducing the cost of the vehicle and also make the service very, very easy. So again, it's not just the configuration of the vehicle that's different. It's the whole selection of components. I hope I answered the question.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Ali, leaving the word to you.
Hello. My name is Ali from Sushi. I'm on the design team actually. So let me share my screen for the presentation. So as a Sushi, we are working on design development and the production of the light commercial electric vehicles. We are focused on last mile delivery vehicles, basically. And now we have 3 different models on 3 different categories. As you can see on the presentation, we have 3 different models now. One of them is Pop-Up Mini, Midi, and the other one is the Maxi. When we check all of 3 models, we can say that the first 2 one is ready for already on the serial application, and the last one, Maxi, is which is L7 category electric vehicle, is ready for the serial application, and I think within 3 months we will start for the serial application of the Pop-Up Maxi vehicle too. Additional to electric vehicles, actually, as I said, we are a manufacturer for the electric vehicles, but also we are working for the different types of applications for the logistics industry. Since our main investor is coming from logistics, we have different ideas to develop current logistics methods and also improvements on the logistics methods beside the vehicle manufacturing. And you can see some of the applications for our vehicles and our environment for the new logistics. Actually, our vehicles is basically using same structure on the chassis and the powertrain point of view, but we can easily adapt according to our customers' needs and customers' requests. So if there is a customer which carry different types of goods without standards. We can easily modify our vehicles, our cargo area, or our battery size, etc. And we have a new vehicle to ready for a new customer. Also, we have testing partners, which is really helpful to build different types of vehicles for the different needs. Europe, the most important logistics companies of Europe is our main testing partners. One of them is UPS and the other one is GLS. We are testing new models on the European streets, almost all of the European countries and the European streets with expertise people's drivers, and we are trying new business models, etc. Additional to our production capacity, manufacturing capacity of the complete vehicle, we also have really good infrastructure to develop high voltage batteries. We also have a battery development and validation facility and the manufacturing facility for the high voltage batteries, different types of high voltage batteries for all of our vehicle models. You saw only 3 models which we are ready to serial application, or we already started for the serial application, but we also kicked off the design activities of different types of different categories vehicle also. One of them is the M1 category vehicle, which is bigger than L5 and the L7 if you compare with the our current models. So as I said at the beginning of the presentation, we aim to be a zero emission delivery company, not just a vehicle manufacturer. And we are going to this aim as soon as possible. I keep my presentation short. If you have any question, I can answer.
Thank you very much, Ali. As everybody knows, you can leave the questions here in the chat and I will make sure to bring them up. In the meantime, I wish to leave the word to Infinite Mobility. Whom do we have from Infinite Mobility? Moist?
Yeah. Yes, you see my screen now.
Yes, we see it now. Perfect.
Just remove this one. Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. Infinite Mobility is a Norwegian startup based in Oslo. I'm the founder of the startup and the CEO. It was founded in 2020. And as like you can see from the screen, we aim to develop lightweight vehicles powered by solar energy. The first vehicles that we're going to bring to the market are in the category of cargo bikes. And recently we raised 0.5 million euros, and we will start deliveries this summer, both for our Inga and Lokka cargo bikes. So these are the new designs of the cargo bikes that we're gonna bring to the market this summer. We advanced a lot on manufacturing and design and etc. So we have 2 models. Inga, this is a 2-wheeler cargo bike, and Lokka is a 3-wheeler cargo bike. The Lokka, we have it in 2 sizes. The smaller version with the 1 cubic meter of cargo capacity, and the slightly larger one with 1.5 cubic meter of cargo capacity. It is the same platform, the same solar capacity, but just 2 different sizes for depends on the customer needs. In the Lokka, we insert 500 50 watt peak of solar cells, and it will be enough to operate the vehicle most of the year without the need to recharge from the grid. The Inga, it's a two-wheeler. I think it's in terms of size, functionalities, it's similar to many popular cargo bikes available on the market. The only difference that we bring is the solar technology part. We believe this can be a significant advantage from usability point of view. And here an example of a slide that can explain the benefit of this solution. Here we did the comparison for two operational mode with a standard cargo bike and with a solar cargo bike in the city of Munich. So if we consider a scenario that a delivery guy will do, a delivery person can be guy or from 0 to 40 kilometers, between 0 and 40 kilometers every day. And if at the end of the day, the battery, the remaining battery recharge is below 10 kilometers, then they will trigger a charge operation. So in blue, the traveled distances every day. If at the end of the day, the recharge is below, the remaining range is below 10 kilometers, then they will trigger a recharge operation, which is the dot on the top, the red dot. So we concluded that out of the 365 days per year, they will need to recharge 276 recharge per year, which is quite significant. Okay. Using our solution, I mean, with the solar, we will not completely eliminate the need to recharge, but we reduce it significantly. We estimate the reduction between 40 and 100%. So in this particular scenario, the reduction is went from 276 recharge per year to 34 recharges only. And you can see that actually from the spring, somewhere from May up to September, the cargo bike can run for many months without the need to recharge, except 2 days, because some cities, even in the summertime, they can have few rainy days and cloudy days. So the main benefit, we call it the convenience factor, to have something, to have vehicle with an experience closer to gas-powered vehicles. It means that it is always available to drive. That's so we performed it. We already built prototypes. We built also the software part of the product, because we need to monitor the solar part and send all the data to the cloud. And for now, we are looking to work with partners in to pilot our solution. We have the capacity to produce 50, 100 units on the next semester. So if you are interested, please reach out. I want to add just also that we built the solar tech by ourselves, so we also can provide for other OEMs.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Passing on the word quickly to Nuviel.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me? I'm going to share my slides.
Perfect. I would request the last speakers here to please keep it within the time limit, because otherwise we won't have time to have the very interesting presentation also from EIT Urban Mobility. I can cut away a bit my presentation at the end. There's nothing more to say there, but please try and keep it within the limit.
Okay, thank you. Can you see my slides now?
Yes, absolutely.
Great, thank you. Hello, my name is Natalia Tomiyama. I'm a co-founder and managing director at Nuville. Nuville is a company based in Hamburg, and we developed a solution specifically designed for the city logistics of today and also tomorrow. What we've designed is an electric bicycle trailer with an intelligent ride technology. The e-trailer is fully synchronized with the bike. So it knows when to speed up, it knows when to slow down, it knows exactly when to stop and to brake. And it does it all by itself. A cyclist doesn't have to do a thing and feels no weight at all. It is the first electric trailer with a patent granted sensor technology that we developed. You can connect the e-trailer to any bicycle, electric bike, and even a cargo bike within a second. It can be used as electric handcart in pedestrian zones and inside the buildings. Sorry. So you've seen the presentations of the cargo bikes, and there are many, but to be honest, there are not so many electric trailers. We are the only electric trailer with a zero force technology available on the market today. We know that there is a demand for the e-trailer. Our e-trailers are already in the daily operations at companies like UPS and IKEA. And 2 years ago, we won a public tender with Belgian Post and already delivered more than 300 electric trailers to post offices. We've been working with bpost and City of Mechelen since 2019 within their project called EcoZone. And we've already achieved impressive results. We reduced 164 kilometers of car trips per day. We saved 94% of the CO2 emission and reduced noise by 49%. But most importantly, we proved that bpost can transport almost 200% more volumes with the same delivery stuff within the same time window in a sustainable and efficient way. We roll out to 58 cities now, all over Belgium. For us, it's all about partnerships and cooperations. Working with public authorities and cities is quite different than with multinationals, but we're used to that. We've won 4 public grants, we sustained 4 financial audits, and we also have experience with public tenders. We provide the best bicycle trailer on the market and adapt it to our customers' needs. And the reason we can do it lies in our company's core values. It's diversity and equity. Today, we are 32 people coming from 12 different countries and 50% women and minorities in the leadership. That is why each customer is unique to us. Either it is a multinational company, municipality, or a tradesman, we find a unique way of working together to create safer, greener cities already today and also tomorrow. Thank you very much, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions and suggestions for cooperation. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Natalia. We're passing on the word to Urban Aero.
Yes, thank you. Do you hear me?
Perfectly well, yes.
Now let me just pop up my screen because I'm not used to working in Teams, so that's always a bit challenging. Give me a second. Let's see how this goes. All right, I think I'm there. So a lot has already been said, and I think it's a great platform to be discussing this, and I've learned a lot, and it's great to see so much innovation taking place. Anyway, so I'm gonna also try to keep it within 3 minutes. I just want to start with this. Obviously, this has also been mentioned earlier, so I'll keep it short. So we have a couple of challenges we face for us as people. Climate crisis continues. Increased urbanization rates, 60% of the population lives in cities by 2030, and a massive growth of e-commerce. So obviously this is going to deliver some challenges in cities where delivery vehicles will increase the number of vehicles. There's going to be mitigation policies by city councils, and zero emission zones are expected to be implemented, at least in the Netherlands, but I'm also expecting them to be implemented across the globe. Also, there are challenges for companies new European legislation, for example. There's great ambitions by companies and the need to decarbonize logistics. I think the war with Russia and Ukraine also brought about the topic of energy efficiency and energy independency more and more. So I think it's a very interesting time and space we're in. So from Urban Arrow, we believe that the obvious solution to all these challenges is the electric cargo bikes. They are for about 94% more energy efficient than vans. They are faster, up to 60% faster on the last mile, and they are obviously much cheaper than electric vehicles. There are many other benefits, for example, health benefits for employees, but also there's economical benefits because riding a bike, getting your branded bike out there in cities will actually lead to probably more business. So at Urban Arrow, we have a mission, and that is making cities more livable. And we do that by building products for both families, small medium enterprises, but also for multinational companies. And we have done so for over 12 years. Here's some use cases. The yellow one is in the UK. The white bike is actually used in Belgium by the municipality to service its green. The one with the two doctors on the bike, that's actually used in a hospital. And the bottom right bike, the blue one, is used by an e-commerce webshop called Blue in the Netherlands. We have many, many different clients across Europe that all rely on the quality and the reliability of our bikes. Here's just a quick list. So from municipalities to large multinational companies like DHL, but also some smaller companies like Marleen Koopt or Freddy's Flowers in London. So bottom line is we care as a company about the cargo you carry. And at Urban Arrow, as I indicated, we have over 12 years experience. We see ourselves as the inventor of the electric cargo bikes. So we focus on building bikes for both consumers, families, but also for businesses. Our network of dealers is 800 dealers large, and it's actually counting. At the moment, especially our business bikes have the largest and the best total cost of ownership in the market. And in 2019, we were acquired by PON, which is the company which also owns the PON Bike Holding. The learnings we've had over the years is that it's very important to combine the agility, the volume, and the ergonomy. So, one second. So, someone is calling me. I hope you still hear me. Okay, great. The last point is that the high quality components are crucial and that production at scale is very important. It has led us to actually come to the point where we offer a 10 years guarantee on the frame, and that the trusted partners and service providers in our network enable the best usage for both businesses, small or large, across Europe. Here you can see one of our most popular cargo bikes with some of the components that are integrated. And I especially want to sort of signal or highlight formula brakes, which is on the front wheel. And that enables us to have the bike ridden for roughly 20,000 kilometers without any service done on the brakes, which is a factor by 10. And I think this is very important for businesses, as the bike is actually a productive tool. So I'm leaving it here. If you're interested to start cycling with us, feel free to reach out, and I'm happy also to answer questions over the chat if there are any. Thanks a lot.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Passing the word to Civic e-mobility.
Yes. Good afternoon. My name is Tamas. I'm representing Civic company as the international sales manager responsible for business development in EMEA region. I have 3 slides of our presentation. Basically, I would like to tell you about the car which exists, which is currently in the ramp-up phase of the production. Sorry. So basically, SAVIC, there is no acronym for the name of our company, but we are fully focused on what's important these days. So sustainability, environment, versatility, which is our unique USP, innovation, costs. What differentiates our car from other competitors on the market? First, we have a concept of one vehicle serving all, which means that we offered unique cargo swap system, patented by SAVIC, homologated by TÜV in Germany, as a part of the COC homologation. Our car is also equipped with the largest battery available in L7E market, which is 33 kilowatts, and with the possibility of 300 kilometers of range. How we did it? Basically, it's a challenging process to deliver the car on the market, even if it's L7E, which is the biggest among the smallest. But we made our lesson through deep thinking. We also took smart manufacturing in a loop. Of course, everything based on realistic business plan and trust. What is the outcome? So basically, our system, cargo swap system, is absolutely simple to operate with. It's screwless. It allows one car to have endless possibilities of use. We also simplified production and manufacturing process by offering one trim, one color, and one specification. So the only choice customer may have at the moment is the battery size, which is 16.5 or 33 kilowatts. Also, to accelerate with the market launch of the vehicle, we have fully focused on micromobility, means L7E homologation for a start. And last but not least, talking about trust and quality, which is our core focus at the moment, we delivered the car which is manufactured in European Union, out of European components, plus 80%, and of course covered by the most recognized homologation, which we obtained in a cooperation with TÜV in Germany. What are our milestones for this year? So ramp-up phase, our current production capacity in the first year will round up with 1,000 units for Europe. This quarter, I mean, till end of June, we will appoint 3 distributors, and I would be happy to publish these news soon on LinkedIn. We are already present on US market with our strategic partnership with the company Tropos. And last but not least, thanks to our European components focus, we are quite stable in regards to supply chain. As we are just about to deliver the vehicle on the market, I can support my, let's say, case studies more on an animated version than real pictures. However, this is where we are. We have possibility to offer full package for last mile delivery, for communal sector. So let's say case study 1, we may combine one rolling platform of our car together with, for example, beverage or food deliveries, dark store example. To swap the body, you just need a very, I would say, basic stocker forklift, which can replace the body, for example, for soft cooling application for example, pharma sector, including ATP certification. The case study number 2, which is also very interesting in terms of municipal activities. It's a communal sector. Any kind of waste collection, any kind of park or facility management can be easily replaced by a body which is, for example, proposed for gardening services or other park services. What is the major outcome of our concept? As far as one car can serve endless possibilities of the bodies, we integrated our complete offer with the best length to cargo space factor. So our car offers 3.5 up to 4.5 square meter of completely squared cargo space. Also, our dimensions are that compact, and this is the maximum of L7E possibility. So the length is 3.7, width is less than 1.4, which of course helps to find parking and not to block bicycle lanes. Of course, this is not everything. We are much more focused on the complex solutions. And one of our current projects, which we are on the way to develop in one of the EMEA region countries, is so-called hub concept. We have basically agglomerations surrounded by hubs where goods are delivered by full-size long-haul trucks, but then Cevic cars enter into operations and they will deliver goods on the metropolitan level. Of course, we are also here to help with any kind of case studies consultancy. First, we connect customer needs, we connect bodybuilder companies offering several options, and of course, everything combined with our Cevic rolling platform. Telematics, soft cooling boxes, even marketing bodies with LED walls. This is what we can offer. Whom do we want to attract? Of course, it's my privilege to be last in the row of all presentations today, so I have seen a lot of interesting information. Of course, customer first, but also we are aiming to attract investors. Currently, we have stable financing, but new plant is under development. Service providers, including financials, including telematic companies, including any kind of rental concepts. And last but not least, it's smart cities and I would say authorities. We see challenges related to L7E, basically in terms of reporting, in terms of subsidy schemes in Europe. And we are really here to support all kinds of activities which will bring L category vehicles to the main trend in cities. I hope I was able to recover a little bit the time. And if any questions, I will be happy, of course, to reply them directly. Thank you for my presentation.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Thomas. So leaving the word to Elmad, Jean-Philippe.
Yes, hello. Hi, Janet. Okay,
Hello.
fine. So I'm the last one in the row, and I hope I will make it in 3 minutes because it was the deal. So I have a short presentation I'm going to share you. So is that okay? Are you seeing this?
I'm still, oh, wait. No, not seeing it yet, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Nothing coming? Okay. Yeah,
No.
sure. It's gonna come.
Okay, now it's coming. Yes, now we see it.
Fine. So do you see this new slide?
We see this new slide, yes.
Yeah, social and industrial challenge. Okay, hi everybody. LMAD stands for Last Mile Autonomous Delivery. We are a company based in France and in Finland, and we are operating last mile autonomous vehicles for urban logistics. So as we all know, we are facing main challenges about the impact of transport and deliveries in our cities regarding pollution, contamination, traffic congestion, health in the city. And also, we know that cities are also regulating more and more the access within the city to restrain delivery vehicles, gas vehicles. We also face industry challenges with a shortage of drivers, delivery costs which are rising, and we are seeing a trend in autonomous vehicles used for deliveries, mainly in US and in Asia, with a lot of investments, and also far less investment, unfortunately, in Europe, but we have to jump on the horse for that. So LMAD is, to make it short, a next transport management solution, a next TMS for autonomous vehicles, for logisticians, for retailers, maybe for cities, with some main features which are robot agnostic. So this platform, which is handling the whole cycle of delivery from the parcel into the warehouse to the parcel into the hand of the recipient. This platform is robot agnostic because we will source various robots from various providers in the EU, in Asia, and the US, because one robot will not fit all use cases. We'll have to transport pallets, food, parcels. So we'll need a lot of variety in terms of vehicles. And also, all those use cases mean new processes, and you don't deliver the same way a pallet to a business customer, from parcel to a customer at his house. So you need a platform which is robot agnostic and can handle various use cases with various processes with those robots. So we also handle warehouse integration, and so we are building the new value chain of this logistic industry using autonomous vehicles. So right now we're going to jump into the last use case we are running with Worth. It's definitely echo what was presented at the very beginning of this session. We are working with DB Schenker in Worth in Finland, providing some parts from the warehouse to some construction sites, enabling to reduce carbon emission and also to lower cost, and also to improve the productivity of the workers on the construction site, because we spare them the time going back and forth from the warehouse to the construction site. So let's jump into a small video for that. Let me, yeah. Oh no, tuk. Open the video with this. Okay, I'm going to share this video. How can I share VLC? Yeah, I can. Are you seeing the video?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Okay, somebody is seeing it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
I'm seeing
Okay.
it.
My connection is a bit, that's why I'm taking on the camera once in a
Yeah,
while.
so here we can
Sorry for
see
this.
we are partnering with Swinswheel, which is a autonomous vehicle provider for logistics, and we are here delivering parts from the Worth warehouse where construction parts are stored and ordered by those construction companies, and we're delivering that from this warehouse to the construction site on demand, either from day -1 orders or on demand when a worker is needing on the spot some new tools or some new parts from the warehouse, sparing the time and sparing the gas consumption of taking a gas vehicle going from the construction site to the warehouse place. That's it. So
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Simon, leaving the word to you on behalf of Vanapedal.
Thanks, Janet. Wait a minute. This one. Can people see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Thanks to entrants. Thanks to all the participants. It's been very interesting. I've been working with Enrique Gaifa on developing the TACTIC project, co-funded by EIT Urban Mobility, under last year's Call for Innovation projects. Vanapedal has been making zero emission deliveries in central Barcelona for more than 12 years, making it one of Europe's longer established cargo bake operators. Entering and creating sustainable logistics chains is not at all easy. And one of the reasons that Vanapedal has endured is almost certainly its willingness to innovate through private public initiatives. TACTIC is a good example, coordinated by Factual. The Barcelona pilot involves Barcelona Municipality, Humaneus World's digital marketplace, Clem's e-vehicle sharing platform, Vanapedal for the last mile logistics, and let's not forget
the end user, the local businesses. Over more than a decade, Vanapedal has maintained a wide variety of cargo bikes. What we can see here are on the left, high capacity model. We've seen some of these in the presentations. Mainly this is used for third-party shipper deliveries that come into the center of Barcelona to the hub, just behind the port. Vanapedal's experience in fleet maintenance, it has a relationship with a German manufacturer, and based on that relationship, they developed this cargo bike parcel box that fits on the back of the XC-YC pickup. What this does is it transships a Euro pallet of parcels in less than a minute. So this was one of the things that we've been doing. What Tactic is about is, on one hand, trialing new services to deliver parcels from the city centre businesses to their customers citywide within 24 hours. So models like Bullet, like Urban Arrow and the Paxter are suitable for the small parcel deliveries to reach locations inland where steep gradients exist and obviously distances are greater. So a second aspect of Tactic is the collaboration with Clem, where we aim to take their e-van sharing platform to handle the larger or heavier parcels that clients need. Clients want one operator to handle all their needs, and on occasions Vanapedal has to handle these larger, they're almost incidences for an operator of a cargo bike, but they imply that we have a diesel van rented until we finally try this e-van solution to become 100% green. A third innovation is a trial of a cold box, a refrigerated box. On the lower right, you can see experience that Vanapedal gained with Europestry. And in this first collaboration, over 5,000 kilometers were run, making deliveries using the first generation refrigerated box. And in the trials of Tactic with the municipal markets in central Barcelona, we hope to use this lighter version, which is about 75, 80 kilos, instead of the 120 kilo box on the back of, in the first collaboration. So that's in a nutshell about what we're doing in Vanapedal. Here are some links if you want to find out more about the parcel box innovation or about our marketing of the 24-hour next day parcel service, or if you want to dig deeper into the Tactic project itself. So on behalf of Enrique and myself, thanks very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Simon. And that ends the round of the implementation use cases that we had today. Wiebke, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Yes, I try to speed up a little bit. Let me share my screen. Yeah, I will not go in detail now, but add some links to the chat box too afterwards, where you can read on your own into the call. But I just want to bring your attention our open annual innovation fall call for proposals from EIT Mobility. So Simon, thanks to already starting with the innovation call referring to Tactic, so you could see how a project could look like we are funding. Thanks a lot for setting the scene there. Just about me, my name is Wiebke. I'm an innovation officer from EIT Urban Mobility based in Copenhagen, and I'm challenge area leader for sustainable city logistics, which is one of our 3 challenge areas we are focusing on for this year's open innovation call. And yeah, this is our mission at EIT Mobility: creating more livable cities, decarbonizing the transport sector, changing the climate emergency as all of us. And here are some facts of the annual open innovation call. So I will drop the link directly in the chat box afterwards.
but just that you know, this one is very much focusing on resolving challenges which European cities are facing right now, going from future mobility topics around digitalization to mobility and energy, regarding electrification, charging infrastructure, and then sustainable city logistics as the third one. And here we have a strategic cooperation with Alice too. You heard previously already from Alice, an introduction too. And right now we are quite late in the timeline. So the call already closes on the 7th of June, which is exactly, if I calculate correctly, 2 weeks. So if you have a proposal which could be interesting and matching for our open innovation call, then please have a look at the details on our website. The call will close at 5 on the 7th of June. There is a total of 8 million euros EIT funding available, which includes 1 million euros for risk countries, which are countries which are on the average European Innovation Score Index lower. So they get specifically funding allocated to promote the innovation. And the project length of a project would be 12 months. And the project would start on the 1st of January 2024. So it will take a while until the project starts, and then it will run for up to a year. And the challenge areas I refer to, so I think for everyone who's in this meeting, sustainable city logistics is the one which are interesting. And in comparison to Horizon Europe proposals, we have a very high TRL level. So the technological readiness level starts at 7, because we have the goal and objective to bring innovations to market. So during the project implementation, there needs to be a commercialization of the project. So it goes then from 7 to 9. And we have a minimum co-funding rate of 33% across the consortium. This can be, doesn't need to be equal among the consortium partners, but can be discussed in between the different consortium partners. And I will just go to the consortium because we have a requirement of minimum 3 independent entities from 2 different EU countries or third countries associated to Horizon Europe. So that can be Norway and so on. So they are all included. And then we have the requirement that at least 1 SME is involved in the proposal, and 1 partner is identified as the lead commercial partner, which can be, of course, then the SME too. And the call has the objective to pilot and test the different products, services, or solutions which are being tested during the project implementation in 2 different city environments. So there's the need for 2 different demo hosts, which can be a city, an entity with direct links to a city, or a private company with an existing concession for mobility service from a city. So this got a little bit more loosened up in comparison to last year, but we would like to see the product being tested and piloted in 2 different cities across Europe. And then we have 2 different mandatory KPIs which needs to be reached. One is the market and innovation I was referring to, so bringing the innovation basically to the market. And then 2 different demos. And then since we are coming from the European Institute of Technology and Innovation and we need to become financial sustainable over a timeline of 14 years, there's a financial sustainability mechanism. But all of this is listed on the website where we'll share the link. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or ask in the general email. I can just go shortly. So this is the EIT funding allocation for sustainable city logistics. Has a total EIT funding available of 2.5 million euros. So we estimate around 5 to 6 projects with a EIT funding of 400,000 to 500,000 euros per project. And then the co-funding rate needs to be counted on top. So it can go up until 750,000. And my speed run to my slides. Let me go to the next one. I can skip that one. This is the focus for 2024. So we have 9 different focus areas for sustainable city logistics, which our data sharing solutions. We really would like to strengthen the cooperation between cities, private logistic operators, vehicle providers, so strengthen this collaboration. Then shared vehicle services are very interesting for us too, between, for example, logistic providers, public transport operators, to enhance solutions for collection and drop-off points, for example, in cooperation with the public transport operators too. Then the efficient use of existing transport infrastructure, circular freight solutions, which go in the direction of reverse logistics, out of interest. Then the demonstration of innovative logistic methods in urban areas with specific challenges, such as low emission zones, waterways. Route optimization is interesting, real-time enforcement, geofencing goes very much in that direction here, and logistic solutions enabled by new city bylaws and regulations. But all of this is described, detailed in our call manual. And of course, we are very much interested too in the further development of new vehicles to decarbonize the last mile too. So feel free to register at B2Match, where you can matchmake with the entities who are going forward to applying for the call too, and build a consortium. So you can matchmake and connect on your own. You can be proactive, set up meetings, and you can present your opportunity too. So you all have a solution, the ones who presented now, so you can display them and express what you offer and what you're looking for. And networking opportunities, one-on-one meetings. So it's a very great tool to connect. And if you have any other questions, you can reach out to our general mail address from EIT Urban Mobility, or feel free to reach out directly to me too if it's about sustainable city logistics. And I will stop sharing my screen and just drop the relevant links in the chat, so you can read up on your own on my speed run through this. So I hope we didn't go too much over time now. Thanks a lot.
No, don't worry about it. Thank you very much, Vibke. And I just want to leave the word to Natalia, who has her hand raised.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I have two questions regarding the call. And, it's only 2 weeks left, so I have really practical questions. So number one is the consortium. So to what level, so what degree do you need the commitment? Would LOI be fine, or you need some kind of, letter? So it's like, what exactly would you require for the application? So it's number one. Number two is, you spoke about the budgets, and I know that it's like, we are used to public grants, and I know there is a fairly complicated reporting, budgeting, and the cost reports. So how do you have any requirements how the budget should be distributed to different partners? Because we're a vehicle manufacturer. In this case, our partners probably will not bear high costs. So what is the kind of distribution and the requirement for the budget?
Thanks, Natalia. So we don't have clear instructions or requirements how the budget needs to be distributed among the consortium, because it depends a lot on the proposal, on the consortium which is applying. But the budget needs to be reasoned in connection to the work packages and work tasks which are developed in the proposal. So when the external evaluators will evaluate the proposal, it needs to be a reasoned amount connected to the work task, but it doesn't need to be equal among the consortium. Of course, there may be technical component or technical partners who need more budget. So as long as this is reflected, this is totally fine, I would say. Yes, and regarding to your first question, for the level of the city commitment, so they need to be part of the consortium when you apply. So we need to know which city is in there, but then afterwards there is a long, not negotiation phase, but there are several conditions which need to be met. The financial sustainability will be discussed and so on. So during this phase, this can be further discussed, but we need to, basically have a city commitment, I would say. But I know my colleague Itzel is in contact with you already via mail, so we can just continue this discussion there, Natalia, and I will get back to you in detail.
Perfect. So, Vibke, also just so you know, during your presentation, I did already leave the link. I don't know if you would like to leave any additional information in there, but of course, upload all information that you consider relevant. And as everybody knows, in case you do have questions for Wiebke, first of all, we will make all PowerPoint presentations available. So you do also have here there the contact data. And I thank you very much today. Oh, sorry, Yang Ying, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, it's not a question, it's just related to everybody's, because I see we have a lot manufacturers of small vehicles, including cargo bikes. So I'm running expert group to give a recommendation to the commissions, including one specific recommendations to facilitate small and electric urban logistic vehicles. So if you have any specific requirement you think at the commission's level or national or city levels should do in their policy measures, and please let me know. My email is there. So any comments on what you think the policy levels at different commissions, national and cities, and you want to give input will be much welcome. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I'm just going to check if there's any additional information in the chat. You can see that Wiebke has also shared with you both the Beats and Match link and also recording of the last webinar that they had where they presented this. And all that's left for today, sorry for going a bit over time, but all that's left today is to thank you all for attending the webinar today, where it will, of course, make all information available on the platform and also share it with you, the link in order to access all the information by email after this call. So I thank you very much and hope you have a continuous good day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much, Jeanette.
Thanks a
Thank you
lot.
very much for
Bye.
all
Have a good
the
day.
presentations. It's very inspiring. Yeah, fantastic. And good luck with Vicky. Bye.